welcome to Switzerland. Alright, welcome to Milan. To get to Switzerland, I had to fly to Milan, catch a train, then catch a bus to get to Hostel in Lugano in southern Switzerland. We're not sure where the bus is. It was supposed to be here like 5 minutes ago. I'm looking at the bus stop and like there's tons of local buses here, but there is no like clear long distance bus. But I mean, my only hope or assumption is that it's going to show up eventually. We did some digging and I re-downloaded the Flixbus app, and it turns out on the app it gives you live updates on where your bus is, and this bus is 27 minutes late. Nice to have some reassurance that there is a bus that exists. Welcome to Lugano, Switzerland. I'm gonna say beautiful Lugano, Switzerland, because the drive here was really stunning. Like maybe it's just because it's the summer, the mountains, the water, but all of it together is just really, really beautiful. This is just a park, not particularly beautiful, but I have a good feeling about this trip, that I'll be able to take some nice photos and see some beautiful things. So we just got off the bus and I have to grab another little bus to the hostel, but it's about 6 p.m. now. I'm super hungry. I've only had this one little thing of pasta that I got in Milan, and I really have to pee because I just didn't go on the bus like I should have. So let's see if we can make it to this bus and make it to the hostel in time before my bladder decides I took too long. Bit more bad news is online it says you can pay with card, and then on the bus he said you cannot pay with a card, but you have to pay at this machine, and this machine most certainly does not take card, or else does not take any card that I possess. So let's hope I have enough coins. I bought so many transit tickets in my life and this one just is not making sense in my brain, even in English. But let's just put money in and see what happens. 50 cents. Come on, take it. Operation cancelled. No. Come on, dude. What do you want? It's in English. Like it's not even like I'm trying to read Italian right now. This is English. Single ticket area 10. Perfect. Yes. And there's nothing else. Will you take payment now? Oh yes, let's go. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, thank you. I don't have to walk an hour. Alright, let's see when the next bus comes. Okay, it's not so bad. We got 15 minutes into the next one, so I can live with that. Problem, but we didn't solve the food problem. So we're gonna go hunting for food and see what there is. Also, just stop at a grocery store. When I told a friend who lives in Switzerland that I'm going to Lugano, his response was just that it's stupidly expensive here. So we're gonna try to avoid that as best we can. Hello and welcome back to our first and only full day here in Lugano, Switzerland. I can start this off by saying last night was awful. I've stayed in quite a few hostels, as you can imagine, over the past few years. I think this was probably the worst hostel night that I've had, not due to the hostel in particular, but due to just like the room I was in. It was a massive room. I think it was like 12 or 14, something like this. I want to say about half really snored. Which meant you couldn't get any like sort of calmness to fall asleep to. And I think there's just like a street light pointing directly into the room or something, and there's no curtains to block out that street light, so the room itself was just really bright. One of the longest nights I've had in a hostel, and because of that I really just slept in to try to get a couple hours of extra sleep, because yeah, I think I started to get sick too, and just the combination of like a sore throat and noise and light, it was just yeah, pretty unpleasant. But what is pleasant is we got some yogurt and we're having some breakfast now, and we're in a beautiful place. even if the last night wasn't great. A whole day of exploring Lugano I'm pretty excited about. As you've probably already seen, the first decision of the day is choosing a color or a black and white film. This area, the city is really colorful and nice and pretty, so it really makes me want to lean towards using color again, but I feel like I've used color in so many of my last few videos, and when I was looking at some, like overall, the photos I've taken just in my life, the ones that I really like are all black and white, and I'm kind of missing shooting in black and white, so we have a really nice black and white film, Tri-X 400. I think a lot of photographers use it more for portraits and stuff. The other kind of like observation I made last night that made me think a little bit. I got back to the hostel probably around 9 or 10 p.m. When I came in, like I said, it's a bigger room and most of the people were actually back in the room. And when I first came in, I think I saw about like 6 or 7 people all in their beds just on their phones. Nothing wrong with being on your phone. I'm on my phone plenty when I'm traveling, definitely too much when I'm traveling. But it made me think about what the circumstance would have been like 30, 40 years ago when you're coming back to a hostel and it's like 9, 10 p.m. and you have a bunch of people in the room that you've never met before. Would the dynamic be just sort of like quiet and everyone's just reading books? Or because there's no other distractions of being on your phone or social media or whatever, was there more of an incentive to like talk to the other people and then, you know, maybe go out for drinks somewhere or play some cards or something like this? Because I've only done all my traveling when, you know, distractions and internet connection has always been readily available. So yeah, it makes you kind of wonder what it was like before and what it means for like connecting with other people and our ability to connect. I used to have a cable car here, and then in 1987 they decided it wasn't used enough to be kept open. But speaking for 2025, it would have been a great decision to have kept this thing open. Come on, everything's right there. Couldn't you put a car back on it? I don't even know where this thing goes, but it clearly must go somewhere, or else they wouldn't have built a cable car 100 years ago, right? So it kind of just leads up, and it's actually not too far away from where the hostel is, which is kind of convenient, because I think I'll go back, grab a bunch of water, because it's really warm today, if you couldn't tell from my out of breathness and sweatiness. We explored like this by the water quite a bit for the past few hours, so I think I'll go to the hostel, grab some water, and yeah, figure out how to spend the evening here in Lugano. A couple months ago I finished reading A Farewell to Arms, and that book is set sort of northern Italy / Switzerland, I guess, without spoiling too much. But how they describe it, or how Hemingway described it, it gives me this impression of this like really nice water, mountains. So kind of cool to be here after reading a book kind of from the region. This is actually my first trip without bringing a laptop with me. Switzerland isn't EU, so on top of not having my laptop with me, I just don't really have internet when I'm outside of the hostel, so it's really nice for sort of, you know, being in the moment, just like in Andorra, similar vibes. The biggest piece of travel advice that I could possibly give is to eat enough fruit and vegetables when you travel, because when you're traveling, it's so easy just to, you know, get the quick, easy meals that are around, and obviously they're going to taste really great, especially if you're in Italy. You're just getting pasta every day, but that stuff compounds, you know. I had this experience like 4 or 5 years ago where I was just traveling and eating whatever was available, not really eating anything green, and oh my gosh, 5 days into that trip, we just hit a wall. It was horrendous. So any opportunity you have to have some fiber, definitely take it. I'm not sure which way is the right way. Let's see. I think it's the stairs. it's usually the stairs, right? But I think we did manage to save the best for last for this trip, because one of the things I was recommended is going to the top of one of these mountains, and you can pay for the gondola, but my hostel gave me a free pass for the public transit, and there's that little bus that runs up here, and it is super quiet up here. The bus was the loudest thing by far, and now that I'm here, it's really, really quiet, so I'm gonna try not to disturb that piece too much with my American English. Yeah, that whole bus ride up was really gorgeous. I don't think the camera really captured it, but it was just ripping along right over the edge, and the views were incredible. So hopefully this path is leading to a similar view, if not a better one. I'll tell you what, if I was delivering packages and this house ordered a package, they would not be getting that package. It's getting lots in the mail every time, because oh my goodness, there's just nothing around. Just that one house back there, and there's just a bunch of stairs to get to it. You see a little lookout up there. Let's check that out. Wow. Panoramica Montebre. You know, I see a lot of people drinking from these, but I saw one time a woman put her dog in here down by the water. So it kind of really pushed me off of drinking from this. But we're not there yet, another 10 minutes. In 2 months I'm doing a trail run in this part of the world, so I'm just gonna view this as a training session. Because oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I don't know if it's the altitude or just walking with a backpack, or maybe being a little sick, I don't know, but oh my goodness, I can't wait to be done. I can only assume this is what the doorway to heaven looks like. I think I'm basically there, mentally, basically there. Do appreciate the placement of the chair here. But the only thing is it doesn't really face anything. Like, sure, the trees are pretty, but there's a whole view behind the trees. Oh yeah, if you haven't noticed already, I did find coffee, and it did find its way onto my shirt, and I wasn't exactly close enough to change my shirt at the hostel, so we're stuck with this thing for a little while. But while we're walking around up here, the last thing on my mind is this will be the 20th video of this 30 countries in Europe series, and that's pretty cool, to be honest. I'm surprised I managed to get 20 out, and I'm really pumped with the last 10, because hopefully I can get them out over the summer and in the early fall, especially because school is basically wrapped up and work is non-existent. Okay, yeah, I think this will make for a nice photo. I can do something with that. But yeah, it'll be a bit of a blitz, to be honest, squeezing out 10 trips, 10 videos over the summer, but I don't know, I really like making these videos and really like doing these trips. So let's see how the last 10 go, and hopefully the 30th is about 30 times better than the first, because the first one, if you haven't seen it, was awful. I said one thing in that video, but I did have fun making it, so no harm done. No one's around, so I think I can enjoy this swing set for a moment without being scared of my camera getting stolen. Okay, so there's no people around, but right beside you on the camera is a big lizard. Big is relative, it's like 10 centimeters, but it is checking out my backpack right now. I'm not sure how much I want him to do that. Excuse me, I'll be having that. Okay. I think we take a picture of this restaurant and then head back down to the city center and find some food for our last meal here. Last meal here, not last meal in general, hopefully.
Who's gonna save you? Who's gonna make you not blue? Not blue. Blue too.
Alright, let's go back. Okay, I'll take one more break.
Go with me, jaded, but let's not talk about your coyote song on a rerun. Are you down for taxiing all night long?
No, definitely closed. You may have noticed the lack of burritos in this video. I promise that's not because of a lack of trying. I spent a decent amount of time yesterday and the day before looking for somewhere with burritos, but it seems like Lugano, Switzerland doesn't have the demand for it, so this might be a burrito-less trip, unfortunately, but it's alright. Italian food is like a close second for me, so I can live with that. 6 minutes. Not bad. Timing.
Blue dew, blue moon, been what?
Hello and welcome to the final day in Switzerland. Last thing we have to do today is catch our bus to Liechtenstein. Now, the problem I'm facing, the gamble that we're facing, is that according to the Flixbus app, the pin is right next to the soccer field, but across the street is this bus stop, which is very clearly where a bus would stop. In fact, there is a bus already there that's stopped. We have to assume that this is the bus stop, but then why is the pin beside this football field? Either way, neither one, oh, you're a little crooked. Either way, neither one has any Flixbus logos or clear indications that the bus that I'm looking to take comes here, except for the app. If I miss this bus, I'm not too sure what the backup plan is, because I don't think there's any other Liechtenstein buses. At least when I booked this bus, I didn't see any clear alternatives, so this may be the one and only shot we have to make to Liechtenstein. And also to make it home, because I go home from Liechtenstein back to Vienna. So, yeah, we'll cross our fingers. This is going to wrap up Switzerland. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you like the photos. And that's it. See you next time. See you in Liechtenstein, actually. Bye.